money worries, it can be a significant source of stress for people all over the world. And whether it's that you're struggling with debt or saving for the future or simply feeling overwhelmed with your finances, it's super important to take steps to help manage your financial stress and anxiety.
This is super important because financial anxiety can lead to so many other problems, such as mental health problems, so depression, anxiety disorders, panic attacks. It can lead to relationship problems. It can lead to even more financial problems, such as irrational behavior around overspending or over-reliance on debt.
In this video, we're going to share with you 10 practical tips to help you overcome financial stress and anxiety wherever you are in the world.
The Financial Conduct Authority in the UK, the FCA, have got a flagship survey that they did called Financial Lives in the year 2022. And I'll put this up on the screen for us to see. That survey went out to 19,000 respondents in the UK. And in that survey, they found out that 12.9 million UK adults, that's 1 in 4, 24% of all UK adults, have problems with low financial resilience. They say specifically, as you see on the screen there, these are people who are in financial difficulty or who could quickly find themselves in difficulty if they suffered a financial shock. For example, they have little to no savings or are heavily burdened by their domestic bills or credit commitments. And they further went and compared this to the previous year, and they found that there has been an increase in this lack of financial resilience compared to the year 2020 when we all went through the pandemic, unfortunately. So given the increase in the numbers of people with low financial resilience from the year 2020 to the year 2022, it points to even more and more people who are potentially struggling with this problem of financial anxiety and stress.
Now, with these 10 tips that we're about to share with you, we're also going to be sharing with you some real life examples of how we've tackled these things. And if you love the sound of this, then guys, why not hit the like button to send us a signal that you like the content that we're putting out, and also share and subscribe if you haven't done so already. All right, let's dive straight in. So step 1 is to understand your financial situation. Taking a close look at your finances is a bit like going for a dental checkup. You know it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's necessary if you want to keep things healthy. Understanding your financial situation involves looking at your income, expenses, debts, and assets. It literally gives you an idea of what to do next, i.e. which debts are more urgent or what expenses can you just let go of.
Alright, so step 2 is to talk to somebody else about your financial anxiety. Now this could be you speaking to a trusted friend or a family member or even your own spouse if you've got somebody like that. This can offer you a bit of a sounding board or even insight into how you might be able to tackle your financial anxiety. A real life example of this is recently I sat with someone who I love and we had some breakfast together, and she had a lot of financial anxiety about the future. In the 45 minutes we sat down and had breakfast from the very beginning to the end. By the time she'd finished having breakfast and talking about some of the struggles she had about how things might look in the future, she felt like she had so much more conviction about the future, like she knew where things might be going by us just making some sensible assumptions about her investing and that sort of stuff. In that example, just sitting down and just talking and really just letting somebody else hear how you feel about stuff or your thoughts or your fears about stuff is actually a really good way to tackle that element of financial anxiety.
Step 3 is to create a budget. So by understanding your financial situation in step 1, you can create a budget to identify areas where you can increase income or cut expenses. Knowing what you can afford and what you can't afford will give you a clearer picture of your financial situation. Start by creating a realistic budget of your income and expenses, and this would help you to stop yourself from overspending where you don't need to. And if you're worried about overspending, just try carrying a picture of your current bank balance with you at all times. Trust me, that will be a vibe killer. And if you're still struggling to stick to a budget, why don't you try to gamify it? So see how much you can save each month, and if you're really good at it, maybe you can reward yourself with something like, I don't know, a gold star or something like a meal at a restaurant or going to the cinema.
All right, so step 4 is to set financial goals. Now, financial goals can help you to stay motivated as well as focused. Now, here's a real life example of this. Let's say, for example, that you currently have credit card debts of £5,000 or $5,000 thereabouts. And you say to yourself, you know what? My goal is in the next 10 months, I'm going to be aiming to become completely credit card debt-free. £5,000 or dollars over 10 months is about £500 or $500 thereabouts per month. And if you set yourself that goal, you need to stop exposing yourself to more credit card debts and so on. That actually puts a cap on how much you've got in terms of a debt amount. But because you've set that goal, because you've set that SMART goal, you know what you're aiming for every single month, it then encourages you to look at budgeting, as Mary had mentioned earlier, to make that £500 amount a part of your monthly budget on an ongoing basis. And that then motivates you as you chip away at that debt on a monthly basis, as you count down to that possibility of getting rid of that £5,000 as a credit card debt that you've got in your life.
Step 5 is to build an emergency fund. Having an emergency fund can help you feel less anxious about unexpected expenses. Now, we'd say to aim to save at least 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses.
And what if someone hasn't got that? How much can they save as an alternative?
Well, at the worst, if you aren't able to save up to 3 to 6 months expenses, at least at the worst, £1,000 to aim for, or $1,000. We actually made a detailed video about this on how to build an emergency fund, and we're going to link to it above and below for you to check out in your own time.
Okay, so step 6 is to review your bills and your subscriptions. Now, I mentioned previously the FCA survey, which was responded to by over 19,000 people. Now, they looked specifically at bills, and I put this up on the screen for us to take a look at. They found in the year 2022, they looked at a proportion of adults who say keeping up with their domestic bills and credit commitments is a heavy burden for them. And if you see on that screenshot, in 2022, they identified that 15% of UK adults say that their bills represent a heavy burden, not even a normal burden, a heavy burden for them. And this has gotten worse because in 2017, it was about 11% thereabouts. In 2020, when we had the pandemic, it was 10%. And now in 2022, 2023 thereabouts, it's about 15%, which is actually a pretty significant amount. Yeah. So our suggestion when it comes to this whole idea of reviewing your bills is to actually start by making a list, a detailed list of all your bills. Because a lot of the financial anxiety and stress that we struggle with is just feeling that we're overwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
There's just so many things to think about.
Yeah.
But if you make a list of things, you're then able to say, well, actually, here's a complete list of my commitments. Which of them are true commitments that I need to hang on to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a clear picture.
Exactly. And which are the ones that I can actually let go of? For example, there are things that people subscribe to that they can let go of. Yeah. But you should keep things that help you grow as an individual, or maybe improve your well-being, or maybe improve your knowledge, or even your wealth. Things like that are great for keeping. But other things, bills, you can look at with a much more objective eye. And you can say yes to that or no to that, for example.
Absolutely. Step 7 is to negotiate your bills. You may be able to negotiate better rates on bills such as your car insurance, your phone, or your internet. The key thing here is to not be afraid to ask for a discount, or you can shop around for better deals. So a real life example for you, we recently contacted our car insurance and our business insurance company to ask for a better deal, and we were able to negotiate a discount. Now, we did this a few months ago when we received a letter from our internet provider telling us that our bill was going to increase by 15%. Now, those negotiations were done based on loyalty and also us doing research to let them know where we were able to get things for much cheaper.
Yeah, that definitely gives you a negotiating position, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
To tell them you can move.
Yeah, go with some armor.
Step 8 is to consider a debt consolidation. Now, debt consolidation is a bit like going on that first date. You are nervous, you don't know what to expect, but you're kind of hoping for a bit of a happy ending at the same time. But unlike a first date, with a debt consolidation, you get to choose your perfect match. Yeah, you choose a loan with a lower interest rate, better terms, and more manageable payments on a monthly basis.
Who doesn't like the sound of that?
In short, if you've got multiple debts, consolidating them into one could potentially make it more manageable and less stressful. However, definitely make sure you check out the terms, yeah? Look at the fees, make sure you're happy with the terms before you actually consider consolidating your debts.
Step 9 is to create a self-care plan. Taking care of your physical and your mental health can help you to become more resilient and better equipped at dealing with financial stress. Make time for exercise, relaxation, dancing, listening to music, and doing things that make your soul happy.
So what are good examples of what we actually do in our lives when it comes to this?
A new one for us is gardening.
Yeah.
Another thing that we do is swimming on a weekly basis, and then we also use a sauna. And also we love to go for walks where we just walk and we have a nice little chat.
And prayer. Yeah.
Can't forget prayer.
Yeah, prayer's a big
morning
part
and
for us.
night. We always start our day with prayer and end our day with prayer too.
Yeah.
Definitely helps.
All together, all these things help to just keep us calm, and not worried. Just alleviates all that financial anxiety or whatever. Okay, and step 10 is to keep yourself educated. So here we're talking about everything you need to learn about personal finance and money management. There are so many great resources online, and sometimes it can feel very overwhelming, which is why channels like ours are great for you to access the information that just removes all that filter, but really gives you what you need to create a life of financial joy for yourself. Alternatively, you can check out our website where we have our blog posts that are published weekly, thereabouts, over at thehumblepenny.com. But apart from educating yourself, celebrating your wins is such an important step in actually alleviating financial anxiety and stress. You should definitely make sure you're doing that no matter how small, because it just helps you stay motivated and positive when it comes to your personal finances.
In conclusion, managing financial anxiety and stress is an ongoing process. But by taking these practical steps that we've shared with you today, you can start to feel more in control of your finances and feeling less overwhelmed.
And remember that every single person experiences financial anxiety and stress at different stages of their financial journey.
Truth.
But with the right mindset and the right strategies, you can begin to overcome these anxieties and stresses and work towards financial well-being in your life. Don't forget, you've also got the option of seeking professional advice from either a financial advisor or a financial counselor.
Guys, as usual, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Are you currently suffering from financial anxiety and stress? And what are you doing to overcome those feelings? Jump in the comments and let us know, guys.
Yeah, and just add to that, even if you don't have solutions yet to your financial anxiety or stress, and you simply want to tell us how it's making you feel in your life, maybe week to week or day to day and that sort of stuff, would really appreciate the insights on a much more personal level. So definitely please make sure you jump in the comments and share. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to share this video with one other person who might be suffering from financial anxiety and stress, because we believe these various tips we shared today will help them in some way break free from that and start to work towards their financial well-being. Thanks again for watching today, guys. And as always, in all things, be thankful and seek joy.
Take care, guys.
Much love. Bye.